Teams could be looking drastically different going into next year. Maybe the final battle for these two in this shape. So we go to Busan to kick things off.
Crazy Raccoon are gonna open the high seed from Korea with Busan. They start off with the Zarya ban, and Falcons put some respect on the name, taking the Ana out of Shu's hands. I think this is a wise decision, given the way he's been able to play on this hero.
Yeah, if you've seen any of Crazy Raccoon throughout the tournament thus far, Shu has been lights out on the Ana. They've gone to it a lot on many different maps, and Control, where he's able to play at a little bit of longer sight lines. I mean, it's like having another, once he gets a headshot perk online, I mean, it is over, right?
It's demon time.
He's not really focused on healing at that point. He's just dominating the server in terms of damage. I will say, Falcons has looked rough compared to Crazy Raccoon at this event, right? You have a 2-1 with Varel, you get 3-0'd by TM, you're dropping maps here or there. Crazy Raccoon, they obviously lose to OWCS, but outside of that, they have been clean.
And that was a hard-fought battle, right? That was very competitive, and honestly, I think Twisted Minds put on a much more dominant showing. So Falcons, if there's anybody coming into this match with confidence bruised, it's got to be the Falcons. That being said, they both dispatched with their previous opponent with ease. I think they both saw this match was destiny. It's fated. They had to challenge one another.
Well, if you're these two teams and you get knocked into lowers and you see this match in your sights later in the day, I mean, it would be embarrassing for each of them if they didn't make it, right? I mean, these two teams you expect to be in our world finals. They usually are in our finals of internationals time and time again. That will not be the case here in Sweden. So one of these teams will not make it to Championship Sunday. Looks like for CR, potentially Junbin here on the Ramatra early on. We'll see if that holds. And for Falcons, Hanbin on the Diva. Fantastic on this hero. This will be a fun matchup.
Lip, the veteran, composure under pressure. That was what Proper said he envied. Proper himself, Rookie of the Year and MVP for the first time ever in the history of Overwatch. Now they face off. And this time it's for their tournament lives in the lower semis.
So we see Lip taking this high ground here on the Ashe. So perfect opportunity where it looked like Falcons, at least in the start, Jake, they want to come out and play some sim, but they quickly make a move off of that, allow Proper to play the Tracer here into the Heesang Echo.
Merit's very low. And Junbin on this Ram is stepping up. Team Falcons on the Diva. Mobility advantage, but can they use it to leverage for kills? Merit taking the poke, and so much space for Crazy Raccoon to work with. Falcons struggling with this comp. Hanbin demeched. No real chances at a kill just yet. And finally, Hanbin does go down. So with Lip on the high ground, with Heesang down and dirty with Junbin. Crazy Raccoon dominate this fight. That was not close.
Yes, I mean, that is really easy looking there for CR. I mean, for Falcons, you're never able to make kind of like any ground on putting pressure onto Lip, onto the high ground. And then obviously you have Proper playing the Tracer here, great against the Echo, but I mean, Hanbin, he gets demexed instantly. I mean, no way to kind of get in there, make a play. So we'll see Proper here take this off angle, gonna try and wrap all the way around Crazy Raccoon.
Crazy Raccoon are just holding them at a distance, delivering blow after blow. Falcons poke down on all heroes. Looking for their hand, Hanbin steps up, but takes so many stickies to the face. The pressure from Heesang's Echo, immense. And he's burned down out of the suit once again. This has been a punishing round for the Falcons. Fielder finds one, maybe a fight to be had, but Crazy Raccoon still so strong with 4 here. Lift, the backbone of this squad, continues to put down damage. Merit caught by the Ravenous Vortex, but Geo finds one, Fielder gets another. And so there's still a fight to be had. Falcons need to clutch this out. Need to start to turn the momentum here on Busan downtown, and maybe they'll do just that. It's the veteran supports in the back line, keeping this one in contention. Lip drops the bomb. It's gonna hold point for now. Team Falcons, though, need to continue to battle, need to continue to put this pressure on, and they're gonna do just that with the rush.
And they have to use the rush, right? The Bob stalls out for a reasonable amount of time. They feel like they have to use the rush because Junbin coming on back in. They didn't want him to kind of round that corner and make a play for the point. Merit also now over to the Ashe here for Team Falcons. Is you have this dupe here, Heesang playing up on this, trying to get a vantage point. He's gonna copy the Diva. That's just to stay alive.
Needs to do it there. but it did pull resources out of Hanbin. The rest of Crazy Raccoon following up, stepping up towards this point. Who's gonna touch? Chio with the beat, only gets on 3. In perfect position there from the boot. Now Chorong with the rally, living for now. Manages to survive, and the bomb from Heesang takes down Hanbin. Domination on the point with the rally. Shu holds his nerve, keeps this Kitsune rush in for the next team fight, and Team Falcons, this round could be over almost before it's even begun.
Man, it has been a bit of a mess of a round, I would say here, Jake, from Falcons, as see Hanbin wraps around here. He's going to be the one that tries to get a touch here with Proper, but you're going to be walking right into Shu. He's got this Kitsune rush, as Hanbin will jump down if he'll get a touch.
Everyone is in his face. I mean, he's taking so much pressure. Crazy Raccoon smothering the opposition. Here comes the rush from Shu. Falcons, this overtime wick burning down. They're using every second they can. Merit, the hero in his team's moment of need. The touches come one after the other, but this time it cost Hanbin his life. Merit needs more. Bomb on the point, stalling yet further. Shu is low as well. Has to navigate this perfectly on the Kiriko, but Fielder wins that trade. Chorong finds another. Still something to be done here, but Merit on this high ground, just putting down damage. Refusing to back down in this fight. Still Falcons holding a nerve, keeping this overtime rolling. Now it's Fielder on the point. Merit with another, but he can't make it. Oh, Chorong dominant on the point, and we just got so deep into that overtime, Matt.
Yeah, and he gets the rally there towards the end, so yeah, the Kitsune rush there for Shu to open things up. You're having to play into that. I mean, Falcons did a tremendous job even getting it to that point, right? And Chorong has the rally right there towards the end, just kind of pops and keeps everybody alive for the final moments as CR, they take round number 1. I did like some of the Falcons adjustments, right? I don't think they could have, they looked like they want to play some sim early on. I wonder if they kind of think about maybe going back to that. But the adjustment for Proper over to the Tracer, and then I think Merit over to the Ashe was definitely the right call, maybe just a little bit too late.
Honestly, Hanbin's D.Va struggling in this matchup. There was so much pressure on him from Heesang's Echo to Chorong's Brig. Team Falcons gonna take their hands towards the Sim this time, and on Mecha Base you can hardly blame them. Lot of corners to work with here. Sim loves these TP rotations, and Lip is on the Ashe. Dynamite is good onto the TP, but will Team Falcons keep pushing? Yes, they will. It's Merit finding that kill. He's saying running for the hills here, just trying to regroup desperately, but Chio doesn't want to allow him that courtesy.
Chio's got to be careful though. Needs to play his life. Is kind of working here with Merit. They're just kind of trying to put so much pressure on him. He's saying they're not going to be able to finish him off. He's saying able to kind of get out of dodge, and now going to see if he can kind of come around on a flank as Junman doing his best to stay alive.
He's in alone. Merit trades Lip with Fielder down. Team Falcons struggling to stay alive on this point, struggling to keep the sustain up. CR fighting together as a unit. Heesang now steps up to the point, threatens this capture, and Junbin bullies back Proper Symmetra. Dodging incredibly well in the sim, but not enough still. That bought time for Merit, who takes out Heesang. Junbin keeping this one in contention. I feel like this Sojourn really starting to light up in Merit. A good sign for the future of the series, but it won't be enough this fight.
Yes, it'll be Crazy Raccoon flipping here as no, they just tried to make a play there for Junbin, right? He's using that block, the Nemesis Form wears out, but Shu and Chorong able to keep him alive, and then over time, get the Ramatra back with the Nemesis Form yet again, and Lip putting down some damage. Then you can turn it. Let's see how Falcons maneuvers around with this sim, but it's gonna be a rally to open things up.
Rally in the face, but Team Falcons are happy to shrug that one off. Run the clock down a little bit more, yes. But now Falcons are out first. Rush is good. Shu punishes Chio. And Team Falcons just a little bit slow on those support ultimates. Yields a fight win for Crazy Raccoon.
Now CR feels like they got a little bit of control, right? Chorong ends up using the rally, and then they kind of back up. Does Falcons, but you get that pick off here, and you see Heesang just kind of watching this angle here. Can't get caught off. No TP available yet.
Scary moment. Beat out from Chio. Very early. Gets him out into this fight. Heesang already off the field. CR have to hold with only 4. Junbin has traded onto Hanbin off sync. Down in the lower. No one was with him. Team Falcons getting caught unawares there, and now holding on to point without their tank. Proper symbol maybe could allow them to do just that. Annihilation from Junbin, forced to back off. Even Ramatra can't hold his ground here. And Falcons, despite losing the D.Va, holding on to this checkpoint, taking control right back.
Yeah, I mean, they have to use the beat and the rush there to be able to get it back, but it felt like it was almost necessary at that moment in the game, right? You allow Crazy Raccoon to go up 70%. Look at this. He's hanging on a bit of a flank here.
Oh,
with the dupe. Oh, you've already lost Chorong though. So I mean, although Heesang gets in a great spot, you're not going to be able to push.
Bob on a point. Can it turn the tide here without Chorong? Falcons TPing around, rotating. They don't have the ultimates for what they lack in strength. They can make up for it in mobility. Yeah, they lose the control, so maybe forced into that, knowing they just can't take the fight to the main group of Crazy Raccoon, who are playing from lower, just bunkering in on this point. Proper looks TP and punish, but the boop is good from Chorong. Keeps the sim off his back for now. And the wick is really starting to burn down here. 75% for Raccoon. A copy comes in, maybe forced here, but the Kiriko can get a lot of value in a situation like this.
Self-destruct to use there by Hanbin. They're going to get in before you can get a mech back, but they do give up Chorong's life. As Heesang finds Shio as well.
Gets the rush down on the point. It's going to last for a few more seconds. Can they take down this sim? The answer is yes. Chunbin gets it done. And Crazy Raccoon now on the verge of opening up this series with a map win. Falcons' desperation time to touch. Merritt gives his life for the cause. Just Hanbin back now on the Doomfist. But surely the full line of Crazy Raccoon overwhelms him. And CR, inevitable now on Busan that they will claim this map victory. Not another delay to be had for Falcons.
1-0 Crazy Raccoon, and they looked quite good there in our first map. Really taking it to Falcons. Falcons, Jake, they tried that sim in round number 2. Proper TPing them around everywhere. They can never really collapse on anybody though from CR. And obviously you see when you cannot get that sim in position, right? And they can kind of do a nice job from Crazy Raccoon maneuvering around the map. Very difficult to get a win using that sim comp.
Definitely didn't look like a perfectly comfortable strategy for the Falcons, trying to adopt some of what defeated them in that previous series against Twisted Minds, but it's proven to be that this sim comp is far from an easy win, man. You need an expert piloting that hero. And Proper, for all of his experience, his game intelligence, struggling to find the perfect TPs. Falcons not as comfortable on that style, and Crazy Raccoon stick to their bread and butter here.
And it's also a little awkward because the Tracer doesn't seem as potent right now from Proper. Tracer hasn't been, you know, the kind of go-to hero for this event at all, really.
It's an unenviable comp to be playing Tracer into. I mean, Brig Kiri in the back line, so durable.
Yeah.
Ramattra constantly attacking and swarming in. I mean, CR just are staying on the front foot always. They're keeping Falcons back, keeping them low, keeping them down, and that's denying them the opportunity to get aggressive and dive in.
Oh, Jake, 1-8 from Hanbin. That's a rough one there.
I mean, we were on his POV a ton this guy. I feel for the guy because he's just getting booped to hell.
And I mean, you see them trying to play the sim, and I think by watching them play the sim, you clearly see the difference between teams like Alcad, TM, and, you know, just kind of anybody trying to pick it up, right? And this isn't anybody, it's Falcons. It's just really difficult where if you don't kind of have those TPs down exactly how you're going to try and track some of these players, you know, ultimate usage really dialed in with that comp, it's very difficult to find wins.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. You always knew it would be going up against Crazy Raccoon. These two teams have a lot of faith in the Falcons to find some adaptations to take us deeper into this series. I think Merritt came out shooting, had some very big moments on Busan. And we've seen the impact of our hit scan players in this tournament in particular. With some of these peak flex DPS characters, Genji, Tracer, popping some moderate nerfs before the tournament. All the more important that your hit scan is delivering the goods.
Yeah, no, Lift was great there in our first map. And now if you're Falcons, where do you decide to take us? I mean, we've seen a lot, mostly from EMEA teams of Shambali Monastery as that second map. Did not see any subs there, but always an opportunity for, you know, someone or Max to come on through potentially.
I'm not gonna lie, I hope it's not, because if Vero can beat Falcons on this map,
I
think Crazy Raccoon are feeling pretty good about playing some greedy backline.
Yeah, and it looks like we're gonna have Max come in here for CR. We'll see what Falcons decide. Could they pick a potentially King's Row? This is the King's Row look here for Falcons. No, the Yana gone. And the now Shu is going to be able to play this over a lot of different maps.
Wouldn't mind King's Row at all. That's looked like a strong position for the Falcons.
New Junk City. So one of the rare early Flashpoint maps that we've seen.
You know, this is a really interesting choice here because strategically, there's a lot to criticize here. You know, you look Escort and Hybrid, the map picks are in theory just more powerful.
Yeah.
You know, more significant in terms of how they shape the game. But there's another kind of intelligence, another kind of experience that informs this Falcons pick. It's saying, if we go down 0-2 in the series, it may be just the tournament slipping out of our fingers. And so instead, you just take us to your strongest game mode, your strongest position.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to put Crazy Raccoon on the back foot, rather than trying to take the wind out of their sails, you put confidence in your own team, what you can do, where you are strongest. And I believe in the New Junk City for them in that regard. However, this is a place where I think Crazy Raccoon are going to be more than happy to take whatever mirror is offered.
Well, I'm also thinking now for Falcons, what do you even ban? It's not like there's a great alternative to go to here if you are Falcons, right? So they will actually get rid of the Kiri. And then Crazy Raccoon gets rid of the Tracer, Jake, which, like, I don't actually hate that even for, like, we were just talking about how, you know, Proper wasn't doing a ton. Okay, here's something interesting. Hearing from our producers and comp ops that actually Falcons deferred the ban. So obviously they get the map selection here in New Junk City. They defer the ban to CR. CR gets rid of the Tracer first.
I mean, it's a rare case where I actually don't hate the ban deferral because, I mean, what would they really ban going up against CR? You'd almost rather have a responsive ban, be able to try to see what CR wants to do in terms of directionality with the bans.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. We saw it a few times throughout the year and a little bit on the international stage of teams deferring that first ban at times. No, the Tracer ban, though, like, if you're Falcons, I mean, obviously you would love to be able to have proper, you know, pilot a Tracer when you feel like it, but we were talking like it didn't even look that great. But now it's like, all right, what do you go to? Do you go to like a sim look? Are you going to try and play Echo? Like, what do you go to here if you're Falcons?
Venture's been incredibly popular between both of these teams and on New Junk City, so I wouldn't hate to see it here.
Do you like the Venture, though, into, let's say they're going to play Ramatra, Sojourn, Echo?
It's interesting because honestly, I suspect both teams are pretty likely to play the Venture here. Echo, in theory, is good there, but sometimes I feel you're almost two heroes playing on a different level, right? With Venture under the ground, Echo up in the sky, and Spint is in for
heating. I mean, this is a huge spot to bring him in.
This is like, what a pressure moment.
So is this Genji now? You ban the Tracer, you bring in Spin to play Genji. That feels, because Heesang's been farming on the Echo, right?
Yeah.
And Heesang can play Venture. It feels like,
does feel like a Genji.
It feels like this is, are you Zarya Genji here, potentially?
Maybe both teams taking the heads up, because I mean, Sojourn feels like almost a foregone conclusion for me. We just have to see the Merit versus Lip, and I honestly think that's gonna be defining on New Junk City. I mean, those picks that turn the tide.
Yeah.
I mean, you need those. You need those, and both have been producing. Honestly, I think that's a good sign for this series that Merit had a very big game on Busan. You might have lost, but if there was one player who needed to show some heat, some fire, get some confidence and faith from the team, it was Merit. And I think he delivered that, despite the loss.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I also think, we've seen it in a few instances on New Junk City as well. Obviously, the map has a little bit of a rework, some adjustments as of late that we're seeing play out throughout this tournament. But Zarya Genji also opens up the door for potentially like a Mei or something along those lines, right? Where we've seen Proper play that in the past, and we've seen it pop up on New Junk City at this event and in the past. So maybe those are some of the things we're going to see here on this map.
I'm a big fan of the Mei, especially on the opening point, where it's full of chokes that even that entire ring on the high ground can be blocked by Mei's wall. A lot of opportunities to make that difference, but honestly, these two teams, I think we're going to get a Genji mirror map.
Yeah,
I think these teams, either it's Genji or Venture in my eyes. These two teams, they want to take that heads-up brawl. I don't think they're that interested in the trickery of compositional advantage.
Yeah, we casted the game that Spin came into earlier in the tournament.
He was fantastic. He looked good.
Came in for the final map, one of their numerous kind of 3-0s that they've had, and played a lot of the Genji. Played a little bit of Tracer too at times. So we'll see if that's kind of what he's coming into play. I imagine it will be some Genji. And then with Max coming in, yeah, it does seem like potentially we are headed towards Zarya Genji, that type of matchup, as we take a look with the Max and Spint, the two players here, coming in for CR, making kind of full use of their roster here at this event, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, what a pressure spot for Spint to come in, though. I mean,
yeah,
if there was ever a moment to test the player's nerve, it would be bringing them in against Falcons.
Well, we saw him in the studio when we were doing the studio. So,
he was very good, but that was, I believe,
day 2.
They were
so it was
dominating
the first
SSG.
Yeah, it was the first 3.
It was a beatdown, as I recall.
But we did talk. We did talk at that time, though, about how it was good to get him in early if you needed to bring him in late.
Yeah, maybe this is that moment.
This is a pressure game, though.
I mean, he's talking about like, 2 very different scenarios. You can say, yeah, you got him in the studio, you got his land jitters out, but come on. We're in the venue now. We've got crowds. We've got the audience behind you. The pressure is on, and you're playing now for your tournament life against the longtime nemesis Falcons.
Yeah, and you have proper in merit on the other side. It's like, okay, good luck, right?
And so, Spint, this could be a career-making moment for a player like this. And I mean, incredibly impressive that Crazy Raccoons even gives the look to another player with a superstar like Heesang on the roster.
Right? I mean, you know, a lot of other players like Heesang would be like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm not coming out. Like, I could play this as well, but they have full confidence in Spint to be able to get in there and play. And remind you guys, watching, we got drops. We got loads of drops. We got DHL drops in the venue. We got drops at home. Make sure you guys connect your Battle.net account, and all you gotta do is start watching after that. We got the rebroadcast too, so if you're not awake during this, you can actually catch it a little bit later, or just double up. Why not? I mean, just get everything. Just watch twice.
I need those level ups. In the OWCS Honest-Skin, dark mode? Okay.
I love how the first thing, like all these beautiful cosmetics, the first thing that went to your mind was Battle Pass level ups, which, hey, they're pretty important.
Look, I'm gonna keep it 100% real. I need those level ups.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get that max title.
Because you're one of those in-game whales they talk about. You're just you're taking your paycheck and you're handing it back to Sean Miller in exchange for skins.
I want them all. Gotta collect them all, man.
Me too. I mean, you don't want to be the one out there in your Overwatch game.
Like, are you even playing the game if you're not flexing?
Right. You don't want to be the one without the newest swag. I mean, come on. It's kind of lame. I mean, hey, with that announcement, you can bring those Dallas Fuel ones back out.
Not me.
Oh, yeah, you forgot. Yeah. Definitely not you, but some of the fans out there. Yeah, some of the fans out there can. You will not.
No hard feelings to the fans, but come on now. Come on now.
How much to get Jake to get old Dallas Fuel? Dallas Fuel home blue.
That'd take a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just keeping it a buck.
Yep. We'll tell Tasmo to hit the ATM and come around right back. So they're just getting ready here. We have 2 subs, right? So Max and Spint in. So we take a look as Max, obviously. I mean, dude, look at this. Max, he's saying and Junbin. 1, 2, and 3. Number 3 is actually out for this game. So but they're tanks. I mean, we talked a little bit about it earlier. I mean, having Max and Junbin on the same roster, I mean, it is unreal.
I mean, like the entire team of Crazy Raccoon is featured on this leaderboard.
Well, their wins have been. I mean, they've been even their loss was extremely close.
They had games. I mean, some of the games, the maps they lost against OWCS, their stats were better.
Yeah.
And on top of that, when they won big. They are no stranger to brutalizing opponents. And honestly, with a map 1 win, you got to ask the question: is this just going to be a repeat? Falcons have been competitive in the past, but you look at the overall, it's heavily favored to Crazy Raccoon. And the eye test how they're playing right now, I'd call Falcons the underdog.
Yeah, and I think if you kind of found the OWCS and the TM players right now, who they are obviously waiting in our upper final tomorrow morning, if you ask them, who do you want to be that 3rd team on the day?
They're hoping it's Falcons. They're hoping
Falcons does them a salad right now. That is no shade on Falcons, are really world beaters throughout 2 years here of Overwatch, but. Crazy Raccoon with some momentum going into tomorrow, some time to watch some more film, cook up some different stuff. That is something neither of those teams really wants tomorrow.
You can see some of their matchups here, 2025. Incredibly competitive, incredibly close. This finals.
Yeah, so this is these 2 teams at this final right here. So You can see Falcons, obviously almost like a 50-50 in terms of maps, right? I know they've kind of dropped maps all over the board. It doesn't seem like it's a great meta for either team, right? But it feels like Crazy Raccoon has found enough stuff that works. I think really for Crazy Raccoon, what they've fallen back on time and time again is that Ramattra. Being able to pilot that Ramattra. I wonder if we see Falcons even go to a Ramattra ban at some point throughout this. Just to remind you guys, it is a Falcons map pick. They take us to New Junk City. They decide to defer the first ban, so the first ban goes to Crazy Raccoon, and they get rid of the Tracer.
Very possible Ramattra could be featured here. We talked about the potency of Zarya, but could be a hard matchup in the Ram.
Yeah. Zarya Genji into a Ramattra comp could be difficult to make work here. It is wild to see those two logos next to the word lower semifinal. So that
like
is
some text error in production.
Yeah.
No, surely this is the grand final. Surely this is,
or at least the lower final
for the World Championship.
Yeah, but it is much earlier than these teams would have liked to be squaring off as New Junk City gets ready to kick off. We'll see how these kind of bans affect the game, whether we end up seeing some Genji with Spint in the lineup. It seems what it'll be.
Ready for battle.
Definitely a test for these Crazy Raccoon players. Oh, we got a serious bias here in the venue. The Crazy Raccoon fighting cheer. So much louder. The energy behind this team. And only a few maps stand in their way. The chance to have a new life in this tournament. A new chance. One last attempt on Championship Sunday hangs in the balance. And proper Hanbin, it's the Reaper Mauga. Oh boy.
Oh, I did not have this one.
All right.
The bingo card, but yeah, this is a little bit of a throwback, right? I mean, we haven't seen Mauga really in ages at the competitive level, like the highest level.
He's in. Taking the off angle, putting the pressure on Spin. Spin gets the bubble though. He's healthy, stands his ground for a while. Big nade onto the backline. Falcons dropping low. Supports pushed out by that nade, and Spin punishes proper. Now Hanbin forced into a desperation move, and CR bat that rush away with ease.
I just don't think, Jake, that like the Mauga is very, like this is like a comp, I mean, that you could have gone to, obviously no Wuyong in the game in the past, but like eons ago, but it feels like into the Zarya, yeah, it is not a good option. So I like this decision from Falcons to make the change straight away. So it'll be Fielder now on the OWCS. Will pick up playing the Wuyong, and then we will have Proper here on the Genji. So, and it is Spin to play that Venture. You talked about it. Maybe it's Venture, the option here for CR.
Spin, the young gun for Crazy Raccoon, looking to make his name. Showing up here against one of the best flex DPS to ever do it. Constantly in the face of the Falcons, making them work for every inch of ground. And as the clock ticks up, I mean, Falcons playing patiently, but they don't have so much time to work with. Maybe they need some urgency. Spin low, has to fall back for the moment. And Falcons maybe have found their opportunity.
So it'll be a nano boost here on the Spin, and it's gonna start doing a ton of damage here on the Venture. It is Max who just finishes off Hanbin. Spin goes right past, takes down Fielder. I mean, what? Proper gets one, but it does not feel like it's gonna be that impactful.
This point's over. I mean, Matt, this was 2 fights, but just Falcons felt stuck in the mud. They felt slow, and that is just not the Falcons we're used to as a team.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like they're just kind of searching for anything that will work here against CR. Now, Jake, I mean, this is bad, right? Crazy Raccoon, you actually get here to the point you're going to fight for this high ground, but they're going to end up having their grab, their overclock to kind of push in, his Tectonic Shock. I mean, they're in a spot where they could easily snowball into a second flashpoint right away.
Nano could be a big difference maker. The Wuyong heals are massive, keeping Spin healthy. But space created for Falcons to walk up. Proper wins that battle on the flank. Comes to assist towards in the main, looking for a dash in. Spin already takes down Hanbin. But Chio gives it right back. Max is low. Still winnable. Proper pulls the blade now. And Chio's found 2. Looking for more. Has to back down from Chorong. And that title blast. Max, desperate now. Looks for more kills, but
they nano Chio. They're just keeping him alive. Yeah.
Oh, and he puts down some damage too. All right, Max. Have to reset quick after that one. Falcons, they had to drop everything to win that fight though, Matt. That's expensive.
Yes, I mean, it was a must-win fight though, Jake, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, they absolutely need to win that one there. And even though Spin actually takes out Hanbin first, which typically you get rid of the tank on the other side first, you're in a pretty good spot. A lot invested into Proper there, and it pays off.
Merritt trying to hold this flank. Lip steps up to test him. Spins is also in his face. Proper naded down. Chu gets that kill. Spins left by Fielder.
Oh, now it's a tech shock. Yeah, that was while he had the tech shot going, so that's a huge sleep there by Fielder.
And Lip fights Fielder though. Sojourn still has that OC. Hanbin trying to stay alive on point, but just too low on the heels. And Lip wants to lock this down with the overclock. Takes down Chio. Searching for more targets. Maybe a wasted OC though. Maybe didn't need it. So even one of the vets here showing a little bit of nerves.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but I also feel like if you're Crazy Raccoon, you feel like now, right, you have this nano, you can use it, whether it be on a max or spins, maybe you get another fight, and then you feel like if you win this flashpoint, you easily go up 2-0 in the series, right? You kind of take all the momentum away, potentially, for Falcons if they were building towards any.
Venture, a terrifying hero on a corner with the grab to punish. Beautifully played. Now CR playing this one slow. They have the nano to defend with. Almost a certainty that they'll use it here. Max has energy. He's going to fight it out on point. They're looking for value on these off angles. Ally bubbles are good. Hanbin keeping the team alive, but there's just too much damage, and Nanoed Max runs down the back line. Chio takes out his counterpart. Lip falls to Proper, and now Falcons secure the flip with the later Nano.
Yeah, and I mean, they're going to chase down Max. They're going to blow through this bubble, take him out. They're going to try and stagger him as long as possible. So maybe you were right. Maybe the OC was a little bit wasted. Maybe if Lip has it there, it's a little bit different, but Falcons, a must-win flashpoint right there. They tie it up at 1 apiece.
Beautiful grab onto the Venture there. I think if you grab Zarya, she just gets the nano, she survives through it. But to take out Venture, a much more achievable target. And of course, once they're locked down, well, no ability to use those movement skills.
And I don't think Spin wanted to go around the corner. Like, he went around the corner to go check, and then everybody's around it. And I think they realized, oh, this is a great opportunity to catch the Venture off guard. And it's an easy first kill.
Merritt.
Oh, he's eating up.
I mean, that's a backbreaking kill. Without Chu, surely you don't fight this. Yeah, CR. Rapid retreat forced. Merritt. He heated up on map 1. If he could deliver a map 2 victory, equalize this series, it would be massive for his team's momentum.
I mean, the Venture contest is so difficult, right? Because now it also allows everybody from CR in.
For now, the Wu Yang ult, Tidal Blast holding on for just a second longer. Mid point advance, Tidal Blast in on the Genji. He's trying to break that bubble. Does he do it in time? Grab comes in, but no follow-up. Max pushed back. And Team Falcons with a real grip on this map. They're bullying Max out of the fight. They want to drop this Zarya full energy. Will you continue to chase? Yes, Proper perked up on this Genji. Puts the bleed in, but Crazy Raccoon stabilizing immaculately. Hold on, though. Geo finds Spin. Pushing for more would be so risky. Dare they go for it?
I think they really wanted Max there because he is full energy and they're not able to capitalize on it. Proper gets in, but no, cannot give up his life as it does allow Shu with a lot of that damage, and he's healing it up to build up towards a nano, and then Max gonna hold on to some of that energy going into this next fight.
This Ana Wu Yang Zarya is incredibly slow paced. I mean, one fight feels like an eternity here on the flashpoint. Genji into the back line, naded by Shu. He steps up, looks forward. Nano onto Spin, he cleans up Merritt. But Hanbin wins the duel. Onto Max with the help of that nano boost. The Zarya overwhelmed. Spin gets a second. A rookie task with a crucial map in this series. Can he deliver a kill? Grabbed again, but hold on. The follow-up is there. Chio and Proper fighting together. Oh, she is popped.
I mean, that is Lip popping the overclock there. You do have Shu here with Max who gets the point. And even though you don't get anything with the OC, you at least get into OT.
And Merritt looking for a trade here. Not too afraid of Max. Disrespecting this Zarya, bullying him back off the point. Creating space and time for Falcons to step up, walk forward onto this point.
Now it slows down just a little bit. Merritt, though, finds yet another.
He keeps doing it again and again. The Tidal Blast detonation doesn't find anything. Tech Shock also. No joy in this fight. Player advance for Falcons. Looking to move forward, looking to close out this flashpoint. It's gonna be up to Spin to hold on, but Proper, he keeps going. Takes out Lip, Max drops low. Hanbin, boot on the neck of the Raccoons right now. They're falling out.
Yeah, and that was a title blast, Jake, that goes on, I believe, to Max, and they're not actually able to keep him alive. He just gets taken out.
They lost title blast.
2-1.
They're all gone. Proper hunting. And even the deflected headshot bird.
And now it feels like Falcons most certainly in control. Off of the venture, Spin's gonna go over and play Genji here.
Proper's done so much.
Dude, this blade from Proper
Merit as
should
well.
be enormous. I mean, you have the overclock too, and now he's gonna get high ground.
I mean, so many first kills have come out of Merit. Now Blade comes in from Proper, dives in over the top. CR completely disengaging it. Could be enough for now. Fighting the Zari, a risky proposition as Genji. Shu putting some counter damage in, but Hanbin finds Spin. A slip up from the rookie to be punished now by the Falcons. They're looking forward. Proper, oh, perfect ally bubble. Saves one, but once again, you're reset and the walk back is interminably long here.
And I mean, this is such a hard thing to play into. Oh! That's gonna be Shu, takes out Proper to kick things off. Merit's gonna use the OC. Trying to find Chorong. Nice nano boost there from Shu.
Counter nano is good. It shuts down this OC. Falcons overextending, and now it's Max's turn to step up to the plate, punishing, threatening this cap. Falcons just want to regroup, just want to stabilize and hold on to that energy, and the lack of speed in these comps is going to let him out for now. Spint, you cannot fall here. This is a crucial moment for CR to regain control.
No, I mean, he gets the benefit of a bubble here, but still cannot fall here. The Wu Yang poke coming around the corner there from Chio. Has to also be careful of Proper.
Spint, looking for anything. Lip with the OC now on the high ground. Needs to deliver a huge fight. Grab comes in. Lip finds another. And it's going to be a quick reset for the Falcons. Crazy Raccoon bats them away, but honestly, I think the Falcons are happy to get such a quick fight. 2 big ultimates out.
Right, the fight happens really fast. It doesn't get drawn out. It allows them to make some changes. Lip does take out Merit there on the exit, so you're gonna have to wait a little bit. You're gonna get back in the fight as now look at this. I mean, CR, they've pushed up. You are going to have the Tidal Blast. Tidal Blast plus maybe the Genji diving in. You also get closer to a Blade. That could close out this. Oh, you cannot die there as Shu gets taken out by Merit.
Lip's gonna take a gamble. Looking for something. Merit steps into his sight line. He was ready for that. Hanbin, though, continuing to push up. Spin takes that Tidal Blast. Can he get kills? Does stun Hanbin, but he's got the health to keep this fight going. Proper takes out Lip. The Genji from Falcons, the hero this time. And Chio getting the edge here in the Wu Yang battle. Falcons just have to hold off. Maybe just one more fight to equalize this series.
Yeah, and you see the Life Weaver out there just to kind of grip a player out of the spawn, but and now with 2 players, they get the speed boost as well, get both of them.
Oh, they're grabbing the Zarya.
Oh, yeah, they know he's a little bit in front. Can they save Max? No.
He steps around the choke, overcommits the sleeve! Fielder! You madman! Sending the rookie home in a box. Now it's just Chorong, desperation touch, no shot to clutch this out. Falcons, they are here to play. They will not go down so easy.
They take us to New Junk City. They defer that ban over. This is a little bit interesting. They still come out on top. So when you watch that game, it's so difficult for Spin, right? You're playing that Venture early on, then over to the Genji. But like we talked about in the pregame, it's much different than playing over in the studio. It's much different against some of that other competition. You are now playing up against Falcons here on the stage, the crowd. Not saying they played into it, but, you know, hey, a little bit of a rough one there for Spin. Can never really seem like he found his footing there on the Genji like we saw the other day.
Fielder with that sleep on the blade. I mean, that's insult to injury. Wouldn't be shocked if we had to see Heeseng come back in. I mean, such a heavy hitter on this team. You're competing with a legend for playtime here as we take a look at the stats. And it's the DPS taking just blows on both sides. A lot of Destiny's DPS, but on both sides. I mean, this is just the nature of the strategy. But Proper and Merit taking those risks as well.
Yeah, I mean, but look, you look at just the damage output from Proper, right? You know, like 2,300, a little bit more than Spin. So much more impactful. I thought Spin, when he started to get the nanos on the Venture early on, that looked good for a few fights. But it felt like once Falcons figured out how to play against that here with this Genji, right? They come out early with a, you know, a Maga type of look, maybe trying to catch them off guard, doesn't exactly pan out in their favor. Once they switch over to the Genji, feels like they started to get rolling.
I gotta say Chio as well. kind of crushed this map on the Wu Yang. I mean, hugely impactful damage from this Wu Yang. Chio, known as an incredibly mechanically talented player who's often playing, I mean, the Lucio, the Juno, not the heroes that let him really show what he's capable of. But here on the Wu Yang, finally, a character that can take over the game a little bit more, that can carry in some of these clutch engagements. You got to give a lot of credit to Hanbin as well. Just, you know, someone who's been at the top of the world on Zarya for almost a decade now, and has just never loosened his grip.
And I thought even Max on the other side, we saw some really nice uses of the grabs, right? Like not going for these big, you know, you're at home in ranked, you're going for these massive grabs, right? You find a player out, you're able to, like right there in the last sequence, right, they were able to see that Max is maybe pushed up a little bit too far.
He stepped just a foot past the choke.
Because they're also, he knows that there's 2 players dead in spawn. They know that they need to speed those players back. So you know that best there's 1 support there, and you're able to just, okay, let's grab Max, let's just burn him down. 3-on-1 type of scenario, and he's never back in that fight.
And he crucially grabs him around the corner, so you can't even have LOS to the Zarya from your safe position. Shu's helpless. Nothing he can contribute in that spot. It's such a minor misstep from Max, but it's just instantly pounced upon by the Falcons.
Oh, okay, so CR takes us to Dorado. Obviously, Dorado is a very good dive map. I was like, I mean, why wouldn't they take us to Shambali with the double flex support where you could have Shu and Chorong kind of play that type of style? We've seen that work against Falcons all tournament long, but because we just saw Falcons end up playing Dorado, although they do lose it to TM, it was a very close game.
They've got to have some bad feelings about Dorado. I mean, they lost to Twisted Minds with Sim Band, I believe. I mean,
yeah, you know, Yubi was playing Tracer.
Yubi was on May, right?
And May at the end,
I mean, like, that's not normal on Dorado. Like, that is not a comp that Falcons should feel like they should win that every time, and instead they lose it. So CR may be saying, hey, maybe this is a weakness we can exploit. And on a high mobility comp, a map where a hero like Ana has incredible sightlines. I mean, Shu's Ana has been defining for Crazy Raccoon this tournament, and this is another place where there's a chance it could come out. It's going to depend on the bans, though.
Yeah, I mean, you ended up in that game with TM. It was like Yubi on second point defense, Dorado playing some May, not exactly the go-to spot for that hero, but they were able to make it work with that Sim ban. So we'll see what bans come through here. Interesting though, Jake, CR stays with Max and Spint in the lineup. So potentially some more Genji here for Crazy Raccoon. So the Diva will be gone, so that for Hanbin is off the table. But the Wuyang ban, that is something that Crazy Raccoon, they have definitely used throughout the series and the tournament.
I'm almost a little surprised by the Wuyang ban because I really liked what Chio was showing in that last map. Then again, it's about even with a player like Chorong on the other side. I don't know that there's a clear advantage one way or the other, and maybe it enables the Genji a bit more. We'll have to see deeper into this style. I also wonder though, I mean, Genji, very powerful on New Junk City, a lot of close ranges, a lot of spots where Genji can kind of come over the walls. But Echo on Dorado is a really compelling pick, especially with Diva banned. It's like you're missing a key tool to disrupt Echo's burst with those sticky bombs.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like, okay, so we do have some stuff.
Okay.
So Junbin is in for Max. We'll see now.
They're going to play Winston.
Yeah, we'll see if
with
actually...
the Diva ban and Junbin coming in, they're going to play Winston.
So now I'm curious, so are we actually going to get Heesang back, right? So we'll take a look here in a second. So
are we going to get the Han Winston?
I mean,
the Han Winston would go crazy here.
We did see it against TM. It was definitely more of a meme in the past, not as much anymore, right?
I mean, he's good, but you've got someone on the bench. I mean, come on now. Like, be real.
Okay.
If you're going to a Winston map and Heesang does come back in.
So this makes a little bit more sense here for CR. It's not as surprising. So Heesang does come back in for Spint. Junbin comes back in for Max. Because it's not like, Heesang can play some Genji as well, right?
Yeah, and it's not the best Genji map, I think, at this level. I'd rather see the Echo and the Tracer. Genji sometimes finds the sight lines just a little bit too long. Some of the angles just a little bit too difficult.
Yeah, without the Diva, I mean, the Echo could be pretty sick here.
Maybe it just comes down to the Tracer, which is a spot where, I mean, we've seen the respect ban in the first map of the series.
Well, I mean, Tracer historically hasn't been like amazing on Dorado. Like, it wouldn't, I mean, you can play it, right? We've obviously seen it. I mean, there's metas where we saw Tracer everywhere, right? But like, yeah, could you play Tracer? Are we gonna see some Ashe here from Merit and Lip? I think that is something that...
I think so.
The Ashe pick has been pretty popular at this event, especially against teams that don't really want to play the sim, right? When teams want to play the sim, it's a lot of the sojourn, right, to use some of that mobility to get out of the way. Even then, some of those games we've seen with the sim in the mix, right? They are playing like, Ashe and Echo into that and things along those lines. So the sight lines here on Dorado, very good for Ashe.
Absolutely. I mean, this is Dorado we're talking about. Hitscan is king. We have to talk about this Lip versus Merit matchup. Lip's been around for years and years. He's lifted trophy after trophy, has been at the top of the sport for almost as long as he's been playing. Merit, a few years into his career, has had impressive results, but I think he's still looking to add a few more rings.
Yeah, I mean, Merit has been, since he's kind of, come onto the scene, just a phenomenal hit scan player, and Lip in his own right as well. It does feel like, though, we're seeing more, maybe it's just because we kind of take Lip for granted, right? But like, it feels like we've seen some more of these dominant games from, the Merits, the Prouds, the Quartz. I mean, the Quartz today was just,
that was,
unreal. It was like, I was like, is he the best player in the world right now? And I mean, we've seen that from Lip, and maybe we've just gotten used to it. But in a game like this, it feels like it is prime for him to be able to try and take over. So we take a look at Team Falcons and their Dorado Escort results at 1 loss to Twisted Minds a little bit earlier in the day.
Dorado Escort, potentially a good spot to bring the Falcons, right? To put their backs against the wall. A place where they may not be fully comfortable. However, there's also the argument that Falcons have took a loss here and had an opportunity to review, to consider what went wrong, what they need to adjust to make those little tweaks that could actually turn the tide against CR.
So Hanbin stays in here. Is there anything that they can play? Right, because the Diva's gone. You would have said Hanbin's going to play the Diva here, but the Diva's out. Does he have to default to the Winston? Is there anything else you think that can kind of sneak on in here for Hanbin? I wouldn't exactly say, Dorado's not a Zarya map, right? Even with the ability to access some high ground, it's still not enough. Is there anything else you think we potentially could see for Hanbin?
I think you could look at a Ramatra. I mean, there's some argument for that, but it's not the most obvious. I mean, this is a map with incredible vertical mobility. You really love these tanks that can come to touch the payload, help assist on the high ground, can kind of be wherever they're needed on all these different layers of the map. And Ram, it's going to generally just commit to the cart, generally just hold that down. It's going to put more pressure on the backline from Falcons to do more of that mobility work, to keep more of that map control. However, it does give you a virtual lockdown on the payload.
Yeah, as we get ready to hop into Dorado, Falcons versus Crazy Raccoon in the lower semifinals. Still feels crazy to say that one of these teams will not advance into tomorrow. I do wonder, Jake, as well. As soon as you mention that Ramatra, I see the Wuyong ban, so some of that poke gone. We've seen Falcons experiment with some sim. Don't know if you'd see it here on Dorado. It's a pretty poor sim map, right? Which is why, like, when we were watching in the back, we were a little bit surprised that the sim ban for Falcons against TM came out on Dorado. But still, another viable option potentially for Falcons. So we are all tied up at 1 apiece.
The support lines as well. I mean, this is a map with a lot of space, a lot of room to work with, and that leads some people to get greedy. It leads some people to, pick these on us, play a little bit more range. Falcons setting up a defense that looks punishing. I mean, the Brig to defend, to keep this backline alive. Echo and Ashe to keep the damage flowing.
There'll be Falcons on defense first here. Hanbin decides it is the Hanbinston time. Yet again here on Dorado.
Not to see someone come in, frankly. But maybe there are swaps deeper into the map. They're going to justify this. Hanbin, a solid Winston in his own right. Playing more of that tactical style rather than forcing aggression.
CR drops the hit scan here.
Wow, okay, Lip to the Tracer.
It feels like hit scan so strong.
They're all in on the dive. This is so risky. Merit is going to have potential free reign. And also Hanbin is going to be able to hold this cart really comfortably. However, he's staying on the Echo, Lip on the Tracer, using his flexibility to his advantage, taking a page out of Proper's book when it comes to that incredible hero pool. Junbin in over the top, He's staying in from behind. Opportunity here to close the jaws, but Falcons strike first, cutting down the back line. Crazy Raccoon destroyed on the rotate. Merit drops in on them. Unconventional aggression, it pays off.
And it just feels like, at least with what we've seen so far at this tournament, dropping the hit scan is a wild decision. I mean, hit scan, whether it be Sojourn, Ash, you know, we see Freya, Cassidy, been some of the strongest performances at this event. And to drop it here on Dorado, it feels a little wild.
And furthermore, Ana here for Shu, it's incredibly hard to walk up. You have pretty much only the nade to keep you alive. Dives can come in from any angle from the Falcons. Echo constantly harassing. Cart rolling forward with the help of Lip's Tracer. Chorong takes a big hit. Lives for the moment, but now Junbin in the sights proper. Cleans up Heesang. Shu trying to swing wide. A dynamite to the face from Merit. And a kunai to follow. It's all Falcons in the feed. Junbin finds one. It's something, but it's not much to write home about, Matt.
It's just not enough. And I wonder if you're Crazy Raccoon, you have to move off of this.
It's getting to the point where you're stuck. I mean, can you really swap now?
Well,
You've
right,
got to
because you're
try with this ultimate cycle. I think Lip is in Falcon's spawn, looking for a setup flank.
Yeah, and I think you're at that kind of breaking point, right? With like 1 minute and 30 seconds when this next fight's going to kick off. If you swap now and lose a fight, as you are, right, Lip behind enemy lines, I mean,
you are big hit.
You are at no ultimates. Doesn't want to burn recall just yet, but they know exactly where he's at now.
That's so rough. It's an opportunity for Falcons to turn that pressure forward. Hanbin bullies out Heesang, marking this Echo. All the ultimates starting to come online though. Crazy Raccoon ready to rip it in. A 10 ultimate fight potentially on the cards.
Yeah, but it might just be one fight that decides this offense for CR.
Rush comes out. Is it enough from Fielder? Stabilizing here. Junbin primarily forcing back. 1-for-1 trade for now. Neither team too upset about this. The Nano comes in onto Junbin, but he's struggling for the moment to get purchased, struggling to get this aggression in Merit. Wastes no time, straight to the back line, proper in Merit. Defeat the opposing DPS. And Junbin just can't get anything done in the back line. Support's falling now too. It's only Winston, and is he caught behind?
And that is such a sick play there from Merit. So they give the nano boost on the Junbin, and he's still got a little bit of primal, and he uses it to go in, and he's about to go right on top of Chio. Chio pops the rally, but also at the same time, Merit throws the Bob back towards Chio's direction, and the Bob actually takes out Heesang on the other side. A really sick play from Merit there, using that Bob in a defensive manner. Heesang recall forward.
Dead.
Oh,
this could be it. Crazy Raccoon on their map pick. They need to close this one out. Junbin lands on Merit's head. Stomps him into oblivion. He's low though. Proper knows it. Goes to the Winston copy. Shu now in the sights, rally to protect him. Keeping him alive. You'd love to get a primal online. So close, 97, but he can't get it there. And Junbin stays alive on a sliver of hell. Turns the kills around.
how is Shu keeping him alive? I mean, this is insane.
Oh, Merit! Kills them both! Hunma with the primal, he can hold this. Just a few seconds of delay could be enough. Falcons coming back so strong on the spawn, but there's no one here to touch the cart. And Lip on the signature Cassidy closes out the first strike point.
Dude, Shu is insane. The fact that he's able to keep Chorong alive that long enough is mental. Let's go to listen in for Crazy Raccoon to see if they can keep this offense rolling.
나눠 있어. 일단 이거 차 싸움부터 세게 해봐. 희망이 펼치면서 오른쪽 내가 볼게. 이거 화물 이거 안 하면
나 밀어줄게.
오른쪽 시야 내가 탈게. 오른쪽 아무도 내가 밀어도 되겠네 이거. 아니 오른쪽 아무도 없어. 차 운영부터 해봐. 나도 먹기로 갈 거지?
여기도 있어, 여기도 있어, 여기도 있어.
흘려. 야, 차 밀어, 차가. 얘들아, 사실 화물 잡을 사람 없거든. 키만 개 빼봐. 야, 얘들아, 2층 싸움 하지 마봐.
그럼 나 왼쪽 갈게. 그럼 나 왼쪽만 갈게.
야, 같이 밀자. 에코 보여. 야, 계속 밀어봐, 너가.
좀 천천히 해볼래?
날려봐.
나 랠리 빠르거든 이거?
얘네 하나
3, 2,
나 이거 앞에 2,000원 한번 쓸게.
기다려. 날려봐. 빠지고.
이거 한번 없다?
죽지 마.
화물 계속 가.
나 랠리 빨라.
계속 가. 자, 계속 가. 나도 내가 콜할게. 열심히
저.
얘네 안 질렀다. 내 벽파다.
내려가. 나못 정확해.
이제 더블 집중 갈게. 나 다이브 세트업 해봐. 차, 너 그냥 많이 밀었어. 다이브 세트업 해봐. 기다려.
나
헬스 해봐줘. 제대로 기다려.
따이면 돼.
야, 시프트 뺐다. 야, 선수리 할게.
나 따이면 돼.
갈줄 뺄게. 나 3, 2, 조. 브리. 나 장난하지 않나? 브리 잡아야 되잖아.
나랑 뿌리야.
Another huge bank of ultimates. Crazy Raccoon trying to make the most of it, but Chio's rally holds strong. 2 dive ultimates deployed, and this push has been absolutely sent home. Lip perked up on the Cassidy, still fighting. Took a lot of ultimates to make that defense possible. Chorong with the rally, but it's not able to come in time. Proper just burst down Junbin. And now, Crazy Raccoon sent packing, only 45 seconds off the clock. Lip looking to go down soon, and let's send it to a listen and let's hear how Falcons try to close out Dorado.
그냥 랠리 석양. 나 이승 할게.
나 트랙 한번 칠게 지금. 트랙.
석양 조심해 들어.
그런데 나 앞에서 먼저 되긴 하는데 윙구. 야 걷던 내가 볼게. 씨발. 내가 걷어볼게.
또 하나.
안 앞이야.
야야 소야 코레줄게. 이거 왼쪽 하나.
들어.
뿌리 가거든. 하나 볼 거야 하나. 기다려 내가 코레줄게. 하나. 뒤앞에 하나.
나는 되긴 하는데. 나 죽은지 씨발.
이거 그냥 키퍼 주고 키퍼게. 내려올게. 우리 원세가 먼저 가자. 석양 하나.
야 상관없어.
석양 거의 났어.
야 트레 온다 이제.
야 원숭이 쳐볼래? 내가 갈게.
The nano there used onto fielder. Actually on, yeah, at that time. So it was Proper who had the dupe there. Oh, a double bio there from Shu, but it's not good enough. It's going to be the Deadeye here from Liv as he steps up.
Falcons clean them up, dive forward. Crazy Raccoon, weakness sensed, and it's pounced upon by the bird of prey.
Oh, dude. I mean, that is a great defense from Falcons. I think if CR finds themselves out tonight, I think there'll be a lot of the ditch and the hit scan there on offense. Feels like it made them way tougher. I mean, not able to break that like high ground setup, not really putting any, especially with Merit on the other side. I mean, come on. We were talking about before this game about how this like kind of hit scan battle has been playing out between Merit and Lip, and that Lip needs to have one of these big games. Doesn't even really get the opportunity here. Goes to the Cassidy, comes up clutch a little bit towards the late of their first point offense. But as you can see, when you leave Merit all alone, uncontested, he is going to farm, which he most certainly does there in the first half.
And Proper as well. I mean, the Echo brutalizing these walk-ups from Crazy Raccoon time and time again. The Falcons, they're so patient. They just wait and wait and wait until the perfect opportunity presents itself. And that, to me, is kind of the signature of the Hanbin Winston.
Yeah.
He's not going to play this aggressive, in-your-face, swarming style, but defensively posturing, keeping his HP high at all times. And when he does sense that opportunity to get an easy cleanup, he strikes hard and fast, and the rest of the team is right behind him with full resource. Team Falcons now, this is going to be far from an easy closeout. They've been in almost exactly this spot before, so Crazy Raccoon could absolutely still win this map. And that's absolutely where they have their sights set. Lip back to the Ash, signature style.
We'll see if they can break this open as Team Falcons. Look at this, Jake. We're going to get a Reaper here. So Reaper Winston potentially Proper. I mean, you could put a lot of pressure on the Junbin, right? Get to that high ground. No, Reaper, obviously great survivability. Nice shot there from Merit on the Lip as he is hunting.
Sees a chance there. Shu wisely hides his head. Now Lip takes the pressure, and the Reaper on the cart. Unconventional from Proper, but Crazy Raccoon are reeling. They don't know what to do. Cart. What a one-tap he's saying! Where did he go? Proper sends him to the grave. Now on to Lip. Hanbin is down though. Put the bubble in a powerful position. Can Proper play his way out of this? Gio is here, and he's reaping their souls, taking no prisoners.
And in that situation, right, Junbin can't even stay up there to kind of fight with Chorong. You're in just a brutal spot. You do not want to be in that hallway against the Reaper. So this will have an adjustment here. Lip gonna go over to the Cassidy. Maybe that is the answer. It'll be a touch from he's saying recall already forced.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Falcons, what an unconventional style. But exactly what I would expect from them, something so unique that only they could pull out. Proper, one of the best Reapers in the game. And Crazy Raccoon struggling now. The range advantage against them. Back over to the Echo.
Yeah, I think with the Cassidy swap on the other side and some high ground here, I think you want to have a little bit more versatility here with the Echo in the mix. That's a nice dynamite that Merit actually throws from the low ground up to the high. Put some serious damage down into Junbin.
Big stick onto Shu. Nade, not enough. He has to rip that nano onto Chorong, but already 2 down. Player advantage for the Falcons. Spawn advantage as well. They're just rolling this payload. No need to clean up the fight. No need to do too much. They're making this progress, and Crazy Raccoon down to the final hold.
And this has been like mystery heroes for Lip. Now over to the Ash here. This does not seem like this has gone to plan for Crazy Raccoon. They will have a rally here. Strong needs to get around the corner, needs to live.
They've got to be so careful. Falcons looking for any edge, any opportunity to break this open. Rally still under Torong, he's down. Traded for Chio though, Shu with the big nade, now Shu in the sight. Proper finds one, doesn't have coffee, can Bob clean this up? Hanbin, 1% to the primal, he rips it. Jumpman's still healthy, still looking to hold. When Lip is down, the assist from Merit is enough. Hanbin gets the cleanup. Tracer on the cart, cannot back down. But the Bubui is good, Winston. You must stay on this cart, Junman. Getting the double support here, but he's in the bubble. Trying to fight this one out, trying to stay healthy. The sticks are good, Proper finds him. Now it's Chorong's turn, stepping up. An impossible scenario. And Falcons close out Dorado, up 2-1 in the series.
A huge bounce back from Falcons. As I got a little dicey there towards the end, right? Junman's got the primal. You have Chorong get back into the fight. You see some of those, brig packs going over towards him. You have Shu back as well, but I will say Hanbin and Proper do a tremendous job there, comboing together, putting so much pressure, realizing, I think, when you watch CR, it's obviously like, it kind of starts, once you can get towards Shu, right, and you can really make his life difficult, you can deal with the rest, right? You just have to be on the offensive, and they are here. As we take a look at some of our stats, really what stands out to me, Merit dominating the server, like we talked about in the pregame. It was, these hit scan players need to step up.
I believe this is the stats from New Junk City.
Oh, it does say New Junk City on the top, so we'll see if that is actually accurate.
Got
That's a good call. So we do have Spinton, yeah.
So I think this is the stats from the last map. So Troy's also dominant. And you got to think about this. Right. I mean, the fact that they're able to come up here, and here we see
dominant yet again.
Still dominant.
They still have Spinton, so we'll see.
I mean, honestly, Proper had Heesang's number.
Yeah.
He had him on speed dial this map.
What did you think of no hit scan at the start? It feels like...
I didn't like it because, I mean, if that's been a strength for CR that they have the option to pull it out, but I think this isn't the metaphor in this.
Let's see this. This is like a flick here across, and
my God.
Heesang just walks directly into the Reaper shotgun.
He doesn't just walk in. I mean, he like blinks around the corner. And it's just, one of the best to ever do it in Proper, waiting on the other side. Fielder getting down and dirty in this composition as well, and the Han Binston lays his mark on this match.
Yeah, and it was a really nice play we saw before, right when Hanbin goes to the high ground, the TP there from Fielder, they lay the Kitsune rush down, and even with the bio grenade from Shu, it's still not enough to keep players up there for Crazy Raccoon. And now you have Dorado down, New Junk City here as well. We have one more map selection here for Crazy Raccoon. You still do have Hybrid available. You do have Runesapi, so we've seen teams go to in the past. I'm curious what they go to. I think you probably go Hybrid, one of those, whether it be Kings Row. We haven't really seen Blizzard World at all, but maybe this is a kind of Blizzard World-like scenario where you would want to play something like that. You could play a little bit more aggressive.
In theory, I like Blizzard World for Crazy Raccoon. Is it crazy to play the Wrecking Ball? Maybe. It's sort of viable on the map. Not the right meta for it, though. It's just tough because, to me, this is sort of going beyond map pick right now. Yeah. Right? This is Falcons having the better read, having the more comfortable style, and honestly, I think it's Merit and Proper having the better games today.
And it's crazy because, if you were, watching, obviously, coming into this, Falcons has looked up and down at times, or Crazy Raccoon, obviously, they lose to OWCS, and it is extremely close, down to the wire. Otherwise, they've just been blowing out everybody. And to just kind of bow out to Falcons, this is a game where it feels like Falcons is, rising to the occasion, and maybe CR is not. But I am curious what the desk's thoughts are on those first three maps.
Thank you so much, Jake and Matt. Zoe here, back with Necra and Avril to break it all down. All right, we have a series on our hands, and quite frankly, looking at map 1, it looked like Crazy Raccoon got it all figured out. They were quite dominant in the victory on map 1.
So smooth.
A lot of this is coming down to the matchup as well. A lot of just perma-diva from Hanbin, Ramacha on the opposite end for Junbin. Obviously, looking at Bruce Time, would be staying away from a lot of the Winston stuff. But yeah, it was quite dominant coming through. I think Hanbin is going to struggle a little bit in that matchup, but expected a bit more from Falcons going in. Cast has also talked about this, but Crazy Raccoon, coming into this game have kind of looked like they were in better form. However, then you start moving away from map 1 and it's not quite as clear, and Falcons, they get that comeback.
In map number 1, it was great to see Shu be able to perform on the Kiriko, especially when that Ana had been banned out. And then we move over to New Junk City, and we get a chance to see one of the rising stars of Crazy Raccoon slot into the roster, Spint. A player that we didn't end up seeing a whole lot of in OWCS Stage 3, but was great to see Spint make his international debut during Route 66 in Crazy Raccoon's match versus Space Station, where we saw a lot of that Tracer and Genji. But unfortunately, you know, the Tracer was banned out for this map. And we didn't see the Genji come out from Spint until way later.
Yeah, I want to ask you, Avril, about that, because you're heading into Falcons' potential best map in the pool here. Why, if you're Crazy Raccoon, do you take such a risk and bring in Max and Spint?
Well, typically for Spint so far, I mean, first of all, he actually debuted in his opening game for Crazy Raccoon against Falcons in the regular season. They 3-0'd them, and part of that was Spint playing the Genji. He's been kind of the Genji specialist for the team. That's been one area that he's saying has traditionally kind of had a disadvantage against Proper. So when it comes to that, Tracer's been banned away. Spint actually kind of makes sense in that sort of situation. But he played a lot of Venture, didn't expect that, and then only played Genji towards the end when that probably should have been his primary thing. I'm actually a little bit more concerned about the map 3 as we take a look at some of these stats here as well, because for map 3, it's Winston, Mirror, and Han Vincent wins again. He beats Yushrei and Jubbin. Is this guy like the GOAT Winston now? Has Fearless just like Nero linked into Hanbin's brain and playing for him?
We just didn't know. He had it all along in the back pocket. Hanbin Winston, who would have thought?
It is something that he's worked on, though, and I think we have to give a lot of credit to Hanbin, just being able to show that flexibility throughout this match. Already shown Diva, Mauga, Zarya, now the Winston as well on Dorado. And I think this really does put Team Falcons in a lot of a driver's seat for the rest of the series, because you can't ban him out.
The problem is, now you have a situation where if it comes down to another dive mirror, you have to be like, well, are we able to beat, if you're Crazy Raccoon, are we able to beat Hanbin on the Winston? That becomes a concern now. So he has to start moving forward in the series and consider maybe we go back to sort of more of the Ramacha gameplay. Proper, obviously, look at his stat line. It's going to be really strong. He's the standout player on his particular team. But moving forward to map 4 and beyond, I think you got to shake up that tank matchup more.
Yeah, let's chat about the map choices we have here then. I think casters, I touched on it at the very end of the cast there as well. Like, where do you want to take us next? I believe the caster's choice here went to Blizzard World. That could potentially be a good pick for them. Nekra, what would you like to see?
I would like to see the Blizzard World. I just want to like kind of piggyback off of the point that the caster did make. I don't really want to see the Wrecking Ball here. I don't think that it's looked particularly good, especially, you know, even though Junbin is actually a very good Wrecking Ball player. I just think it's not the right meta for it, and especially when you're going to be going up against somebody like Proper who could just kind of bypass that, or maybe it's the Wrecking Ball is a little too slow to set up. I would like to see them play something else.
So the real two choices here are either, in my mind, I would think that more likely it's going to be King's Row, because Crazy Raccoon always go to King's Row, regardless of how well they do there or not. But that's the other thing, right? I feel like they haven't really tested the Ram mirror yet. The other choice is to snipe away New Queen Street so that Falcons don't get Runasapi. Falcons have traditionally been very strong on Runasapi. They like to default into that map. So if you just go for the push now, you can take New Queen Street and make sure the Runasapi's out of the pool.
Well, let's find out where the Raccoon are taking us for this map number 4 and send it back over to our casters.
Thank you so much, Zoe. And as this, I mean, we're facing what could be the final map for Crazy Raccoon. I mean, going down in the last 2.
Oh, I mean,
in brutal fashion on Dorado.
And I mean, with how they fared, right? Like you think about, I know, EWC, not exactly the result they would have liked there, and then coming in here and losing. Okay, so they take us to New Queen Street. This is a really good like ball dive type of map, right? So this is kind of like, we've seen this from other teams throughout the event, maybe playing some ball here on New Queen Street. So do you think they actually ban a tank here to protect off the rip?
I mean, there's a big question of whether Junbin comes in, and I think he did.
Yeah.
To be honest, because I don't think Falcons would ban the ball unless he did. So Cassidy taken out by Crazy Raccoon. That's a strong signal that you want to push the pace, maybe even to go to a Tracer Sombra style.
Yeah, but now with the ball gone, I mean, you still play with the Winston, right? You
still play with the Winston.
As Junbin stays in, most likely, but it's not as, maybe you're not as worried. I mean, if you're Falcons, you just dealt with the Winston-based comp. Obviously a different level of pace compared to whether it be like a Sombra Tracer on the other side, but still, for me, I love how that played out there for Falcons.
Yeah, I think they're going to be happy coming into this one. And honestly, I think if Crazy Raccoon, if they do go back to this Tracer Sombra, it's worked for them in the past. They've made it work when no one else has. And yet, this tournament, to let Merit be the only hit scan on the server, potentially unanswered,
You can't go down.
it's
like
so risky, right?
You can't
It's
go
almost
down.
crazy.
I mean, you can't go down like that. I mean, you have to.
I mean, Merit Ash on this map, of all maps, like this is a place where Merit so comfortable. I mean, Falcons was feeding him almost every nano.
I mean,
in a Winston comp on this map.
yeah, and we've seen, like, think about, you know, the performances from Lambda and Proud in courts, like hit scan players, you know, have been kind of the driving forces for a lot of their teams throughout this event thus far, and to kind of take that out of Lip hands potentially here would be quite brutal. So Junbin stays in, Cassidy ban, ball ban. The ball ban is definitely a target for Crazy Raccoon. It looks like here, with that ball gone though, you'll have a Ramatra comp here for CR.
Proper Sojourn? Merit is just playing Sim.
Huh?
I'm sorry, what?
This is usually the other way around.
Yes. Okay. Merit's gonna get his chance on the Symmetra. Lip is low, Proper. Just fine, I'll do it myself. He wants a turn on his scan.
I mean, Proper is seeing all these games from courts and Proud and every Merit, and he's like, all right, I'm done. I'm done with this.
He's done crazy things on the Sojourn before. Crazy Raccoon, though, running a style they've seen a lot of success with this tournament. A very tanky front line, letting Heesang and Lip, in theory, have room to work with. The Proper takes out Heesang. First shot of the game, and he takes a skull.
So, you know, Falcons does have like a double hit scan look they go to at times, like with the Sojourn and the Freya. I don't know if you'd want to run it here, but maybe they want that flexibility if need be, but definitely a huge adjustment here for potentially the end of the game as Lip taking a railgun shot there from Proper.
Getting a little bit of that Lip aim, taking a bit for himself. Crazy Raccoon, they can hold on to the carpet. How do they progress it back? Now that the lead is against them, beautiful TP across. He's gonna get a chance here. Caught behind the box on the Ash, giving some fire back the other way, making Proper think twice about that position, and then cut down.
That is a sick whip shot there from Chorong. I don't think they expect the Chorong to push into the room, knocks Proper off course. Sends him back into the firing line of the rest of Crazy Raccoon.
Beautiful catch from the main support. Now it's CR's turn to make a bit of progress. Junbin wants more than progress. He wants a dominant team fight. Merit's playing this one so patiently on the Sim. Heesang finds Fielder on the retreat, and Falcons struggling to regroup, giving up a lot of card time. An uncharacteristic mistake from them.
That's a bad spot for Hanbin to die as well. I mean, now you're gonna have to walk off the side. Heesang with 2. So you may end up, you're gonna get very close to checkpoint here, Jake.
And the way they're doing it, right, they win these fights off picks. So now, not only are they in the advantage, but as we come to this checkpoint fight, they're gonna have everything into this engagement. Falcons gonna be able to match, and so this is gonna be a pivotal fight, one that could potentially determine the outcome of the game, and the Falcons would like the series.
I think if you see Falcons lose this fight, they may want to make some changes. You're gonna have the Sim wall open things up on Lip, finds Fielder. And that was, you know, Fielder has a Kitsune rush, you're not gonna obviously invest it.
I will say, 2 support ults deployed for
Yeah.
Crazy Raccoon. Those are incredibly significant in this type of a meta. And so Falcons have a potentially unanswered overclock, a beat to defend with. Incredible challenge here for CR. They want to keep this ball rolling. Instead, they're going to get super aggressive. The beat is too late. Merit is down. Junbin keeping this one possible, forcing this map 5, but Shio has found Heesang. Hanbin self-destructing for the reset. But he does go down to the bomb in the meantime, and Lip continues to cut them down as they push.
Lip finds another, you still have Junbin here alive. So they get the bot a little bit away from their spawn, but it is not enough to wipe CR. So now, Crazy Raccoon, they're gonna get players off a spawn here, nothing obviously to work with. Proper over to the Widow, you're gonna have Merrick pick up the Ash. Let's see what Proper decides to go to. Gonna go over to Echo, so a lot of questions about why they just kind of changed roles here, potentially, on New Queen Street. Maybe they had an idea to go to something else after this, but they kind of go back to what's been tried and trusted.
Yeah, I can't blame him for it. But now, significantly in the hole, and Crazy Raccoon, desperate for a map 5, desperate for a continuation of this series. This time, Lip peeks with the Ash and is sent packing. Merit defends, Chio punishes for the kill, and Falcons Need to turn this map around now. Need to start finding these kills. Junmin goes for the backflank, but gets punished. Heesang, though, has found proper this time, turning the tables on the Echo Mirror.
But any time off the clock here is good for Crazy Raccoon, right? The bot still deep in Falcons territory.
Jorong came deep to save Junmin, but seems to be able to get out with his life. Heesang now very low. Merit trading in the front line.
But these fights on this side of the map are great for Crazy Raccoon, regardless how it goes. It burns clock and obviously pushes the bot slightly deeper towards the Falcons side of that, where Falcons, they don't even have checkpoint.
Chu taking risks, forced into a rush. See if Falcons can kite this one back. They can get out of this fight. It's a huge boon to them. There's a lot of time to work with. And a team of vets, such as the Falcons, they're willing to squeeze out every advantage, but they squeeze too hard, and Lip punishes, finds that kill. Heesang with the next, and this is gonna turn into a blowout advantage for Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, I mean, you do get the kill on a Heesang here, who does have the duplicate, but the bot going closer and closer towards the spawn door. Potentially a full map run here for Crazy Raccoon. You're gonna have a rally. You're also going to have that Annihilation to work with and another Bob. So for CR though, I like this, Jake. They back up just a little bit. Make sure to get Heesang back in the fight.
The old bank is in a fantastic spot for the Falcons, but they need to leverage it. They need to push, and honestly, Crazy Raccoon has caught up. The chaos of those last fights has turned against them. Echo Stickies, put a bit of damage onto Merit, but for now, Heesang has to fall out. Look for another opportunity, maybe to deploy this copy. So respectful of Merit, knows what this Ashe can do. Merit sends the Bob in. Both Bobs are in, Lips instantly bursted down by Proper. And Fielder's Rush for now is just zoning away CR, but they're happy to drain that out of the bank. Junmin rips the Annihilation straight into the backline, right on top of them. Cuts them to pieces. Proper gets the beam kill, but that's all he can find. And now it's only Fielder, and caught behind the Raccoon.
We have played this entire round what feels like basically in front of Team Falcons spawn door. So now for Crazy Raccoon, I don't even think you can really want to push up, right? You're going to allow some players to get back. We're going to see the same type of thing, right? Go here, see if you can get a pick. Maybe we'll bounce back just a little bit, but
they're making meaningful progress now, deeper and deeper.
And they are playing for this rush, right? So now you have this control here with Heesang, and you're going to have this rush. This might be enough to close it.
Fielder goes on, but a full cap would be exactly what the Doctor ordered to reset this momentum in the series. They're on to Proper, he's forced into the copy, gets that ram, exactly what he's hoping for with Lip. Again and again, it's Lip in the feed. 2 more for the Warlord. He looks to close out this map, force a game 5, and send a message to the Falcons.
Yeah, Hanbin with an Annihilation. It's not even really gonna come into play here, Jake. As Crazy Raccoon, they tie it up, and they will send us to a game 5.
The full cap on push at this level of play. And we're gonna look back at those opening rollouts and just think, what was going on?
Yeah,
why?
I mean, Merit on the Sim and then Proper on the Soj. It's a swap that, you know, maybe there's something like deeper down that they would have wanted to go to. That would have been necessity for that. Like, I think like maybe if you wanted Merit to play the Freya and you were looking at like a double hit scan type of setup, but that never comes to be. You just get pushed all the way back, and then you have to make so many swaps to make things work, and it all kind of falls apart for Falcons in the end.
Actually, all right, I think I understand. I suspect that Falcons anticipated a Winston comp.
And they could have played double hits.
They wanted to play, actually, I think they wanted to play Sim into Winston, and they wanted to just, you know, do what was shown to be successful against the Winston matchups. Just get torqued.
Yeah, but then why wouldn't you
down
just,
the Winston?
But then why wouldn't you just have Proper?
Yeah, why wouldn't you have Proper play the Sim?
They do
That's
play
a question that remains unanswered.
Yeah, they do play Freya with the Soj sometimes, and maybe they thought it was going to be a Winston comp, right? And if you use the Sim early on, doesn't work out, you can go to that double hit scan look. As we take a look at some of the highlights, because the stats were ugly for the Falcons.
I mean, Lip opened up on them on this map. I mean, we were talking about, has he missed? Has he lost a step? That's frankly the question we were starting to ask with some of these other hit scans. Staking their claim on this tournament, eyeing up that trophy, and Lip demands one last look, one last chance here on what will be a decisive map 5.
So a hybrid map. Hybrid will be the map here that will close it out. Potentially we can draw here.
Map type, right? It's a very powerful pick. Kings Row has been, feels like the lion's share of teams have gone to Kings Row, and maybe Falcons will just feel the most comfortable with that. There's also the chance to throw a monkey wrench into the works.
Ana, Kiri, Wu Yang, and Ball
So many bans have been deployed, right?
are the bans from CR, I believe. No, actually, yeah, I think it was. So we'll see what they decide to do. It's actually the Ball that goes for Falcons. So those are the Falcons bans. Falcon obviously get first ban here.
I want to see them ban Ram.
Unless
I think
they try
this
and
is the
defer.
moment.
Yeah, and then what?
And play Zarya. Put it all in. Hanbin, you've trusted him time and time again.
They could go back and play like Zarya Genji.
Absolutely. It's looked fantastic.
Would you ban Genji if you're a Crazy Raccoon?
Maybe, but I think Falcons can live with that. You know, I think proper, the hero pool he has, you take away one and it feels like the other, it just gets stronger.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see. It looks like we do have a sub here potentially in the tank spot. So
Max coming in.
potentially coming in here for Junbin. An embarrassment of riches on the CR roster.
I mean, I think they just suspect they need the option to play a mirror. I mean, there's too many powerful picks for Falcons. There's too many ways to force Junbin onto an awkward spot, especially with some. I think a Ram ban on any map would really put Junbin in a weird place. Where, like, what is his next hero? Is he just going to end up playing Zarya or just something that's uncomfortable for him? So I think this is actually, it's really smart to bring Max in. I think there's too many bans left. Junbin has done his duty in this series. It has to be Max to close it out.
Feels like potentially a Ramatra ban on the table here for Falcons. So we'll take a look. It will be King's Row. So we had discussed that maybe if it was CR picking, they would have wanted to play a little bit more dive, go towards like a Blizzard World potentially. King's Row, though, a fan favorite of everybody, every region across the OWCS. With Falcons picking this map, obviously they have the ability to defer the ban like they did on Dorado, but most likely will not be the case. The Ramatra ban makes a ton of sense here.
We've wanted to see it from other teams in the past, and they've strayed away. See what Falcons thinks is going to give them the biggest advantage for maybe one of the most consequential maps of these teams' histories. I mean, to fall out now, to fail to even reach the top 3. These are teams who set the standard at lifting the trophy. I mean, a second place is a failure for them. So to not appear on Championship Sunday is unimaginable.
I mean, this is also, as some of these players are some of the more historic players in Overwatch Esports, you never know when it's the final time, right? And you do not want to go out on a loss to your rival. It's a lot riding on this match. Obviously, the winner of this goes to tomorrow. Tomorrow will not be easy for whoever makes it there, right? As
there's two heavy hitter EMEA squads that have both delivered beatdowns, sending the message that their strat is the meta.
So here are the hybrid stats between these two teams. So 2-1 records for both of them. So Falcons, they have their loss there against Twisted Minds. So still, Falcons though, up and down performance throughout the weekend. And I think both those EMEA teams would love to see Crazy Raccoon go, but also, as we say that, Jake, it's not exactly like, proper merit on Championship Sunday is something you want to be walking into. It's either of these teams going to definitely be heard from tomorrow.
I got to say, if you're a Falcons player right now, the palms have got to be sweating with Lip finding his peak form in that most recent map, and they will ban the Ramatra. The Lucio ban response from Crazy Raccoon to take some of the venom out of a potential Zarya comp.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely. So Zarya, no mobility at all in terms of obviously speed, right? There is some now with the perk that you can get a little bit more, high ground control. But with no team speed, that is going to be an odd one to play potentially. Obviously, there's also Juno in the mix, but not seen Juno much since we've gotten to the arena. We did see a little bit when we were in studio. Always an option. Not exactly a one-to-one in terms of replacement for speed, but I think we both agree the Ramatra ban, that one was coming from a mile away.
I'm glad to see it. Had the same read as Falcons. And now this is going to be a tough test for Max, because put to the test in a Zarya mirror, I think Hanbin is going to be very happy to be entrusted with a series like this, and Max is going to be starting to feel the pressure, frankly.
Yeah, but with no Lucio, though, now this kind of frees up. You can play that double flex support that is really strong.
It has been.
For Shu and Chorong, right? Could you play like on a Wuyang here? On the defensive side, specifically, controlling some of that high ground, a lot of poke?
Yeah, I think why not? I mean, I think Kiriko has to be in the conversation, though. Rush, so powerful in this Zarya. I mean, it just feels like he never runs out of bubbles with that tool. Allows you to fight into a lot of these powerful ultimates. Supports, I think, are absolutely right. It's going to be so crucial. I mean, every player on both teams needs to perform to their highest ability, considering the opponents on the other side of the stage. There is just no margin for error. Meriden proper here, tasked with unseating Lip, delivering a defeat to a man who's experienced it very rarely in his career.
And I mean, really, a defining map for both of these teams, regardless of what happens the rest of the way. The final matchup between these two teams this season, maybe with these iterations of these rosters, right, as we head into the offseason. Obviously, they have played a ton during the regular season at OWCS events, but really here at the World Finals, this will be the one that everybody remembers. This will be the one that everybody talks about. Obviously, many legendary series between these two teams, but this one map, probably what we end up all talking about at the end of the day.
It all comes to this. Crazy Raccoon, they opened the series so strong, looking like they could potentially just run away with this one. Falcons respond, incredible patience, surviving, dominating 2 maps of their own, and then CR just completely turned the momentum of the series, stopping Falcons in their tracks. Falcons try to get cute, playing that Symmetra, and they get punished. It feels like they won't make that mistake again.
So much riding on this game. Let's take a look at the bracket. This is the loser semifinals that we're currently in. Everybody thought it would be impossible, but both EMEA teams, our number 1 and 2, Alcatia and Twisted Minds, took out our teams from Korea, Falcons and Crazy Raccoon. Since they've gotten here in the lower bracket, though, they have run through T1, destroyed Weibo Gaming, but now just kind of throwing haymakers at each other here going to a game 5.
Feels like this one just has to go to 5, Matt. Maybe we should have been expecting it the whole time. In Kings Row, an iconic place to conclude this series.
Feels like the right place to end it. The Ramatragon here from Falcons. They get rid of it. Feels like that is the Max is one of the more potent heroes that he looks to go to. Frees up the Diva for Hanbin. Hanbin also fantastic on the Zarya. Puts him in a great position. But that Lucio ban takes a little bit of the juice out of that Zarya comp. So a nice response there from Crazy Raccoon. We'll see how it plays out.
Chio and Chorong, neither of them can play the Lucio in this map. Often central to the composition. Should slow things down a lot, create more opportunities, in particular for the DPS and the flex support to play. But also, I mean, we've seen characters like Wuyang be dominant, have huge impact kills, especially when it gets down to those chaotic final moments. So significant here on Kings Row in particular, where there's a lot of space to work with, a lot of room to maneuver.
Without that speed, could be much harder to play that Zarya a little bit slower.
Ooh,
okay. So, the only time we've seen Sig has been T1 playing it with the Sim. We've had a little bit of conversations, not on stream, but that kind of poke comps with this Sigma have kind of died. Here with Overwatch 2, feels like the rush is too strong, feels like the dive is too strong. Typically, when we do see the Sig, though, it is with like a Baptiste, right? You're not exactly playing it with Diana, so potentially something vastly different here from Crazy Raccoon.
Fans have come from around the world to support these teams, to cheer for them, the hope that one of them may go on to win this trophy. That dream is not dead, however difficult it may seem now. And these two teams desperate for that one last chance. It's proper scouting, considering, well, what's he gonna pull out of his bag of tricks, and it seems to be the Genji for now. Oh, the Venture will be the committed play.
You saw how far back CR was playing, probably trying to know that, hey, there's gonna be a Sonic Don't want to give away the Sig pick right away. Want to buy some times, but hey, Proper gets this position over here in the hotel really quickly. Now gets to the high ground.
He's gonna start to put that pincer maneuver on. Counter pressuring, Kiriko's with him.
This is not good for CR, I think, Jake.
Yeah, it's forcing them back into the corner. Proper continues to push the base. A burrow could be devastating here in the center of their formation. Bubble is good. Shoes attack, bursted, Proper takes him down, gets the cleanse. Has done enough on this high ground. Max, there's no support left to sustain. Lip gets a kill on the Merit. Still some fight left in this defense, but they have no heals. They have to play with the HP they've got. And Hanbin threatening the cap, 2 ticks already.
Yeah, Max does not want to play directly into the Zarya, right? You can't really kind of have any damage mitigation. The kinetic grass doesn't do anything against that Zarya being now forced to step up to the point.
He's running low on resources. Support should be coming back any second now, but will they be there in time? Proper puts the pressure on. Chu has no sleep, nothing to stop the advance. Chorong forced to the point. Now Falcons securing the cap. Just the DPS left, trying to get what trade that they can, but instead they get nothing.
I mean, you see how hard it is to play that Sig and keep that space, and then also, especially without the Baptiste in the mix, right? No immortality field for the Sig to kind of play behind, get some of the cooldowns back, and now Max, they decide to match that Zarya. Let's do a listen-in with Falcons, though, see if they can speedrun this second point.
누구야?
메이 프리 왼쪽 온것 같아.
여기서
화물 밀어볼래? 화물 밀고 내가 딜라인 쭉 갈게. 키리움까지 그냥 받을 생각하고 그냥 본대 세게 집어볼래?
그러게.
오케이?
확인.
그렇지?
문제 세게 하자. 문제 세게 하자. 화밀다가. 동해 어떨 때 2층에 씬.
아 시간 봐줄게. 동훈아 앞서봐. 나 구석 실.
하나 빠진 메이 앞에. 하면서 뒤에 있어.
나 시랜드 오버 오거든. 나 진짜 야간 건데. 갈게. 실. 실. 나
보이스 정말 보이스.
나 구석 앞서 근데 나 없어.
알아서. 하나 빠짐. 아 밀래?
나 없어.
갈게 한 번이자.
나 믿는 척 할게. 맨 먼저 줘봐. 주방만.
벽 뺐다.
야 원래 나 셀면 사람 피갈래.
나 갈게. 하나 피.
우리 뒤에 있다.
네, 빠짐. 죽어야 돼.
Beautiful read of the play by Chorong. Gets in Merit's face, denies the follow-up to that instant headshot he put onto Shu. Now Proper just trying to escape, just trying to reset on this venture. May be able to do just that. The supports are
He
there.
get out? I mean, that's wild. He gets around the corner, gets some healing there from Chio. Like you mentioned, fantastic play from Chorong, right? The rally up on the high ground.
Oh,
So Lip now finds Proper. Got out with his life, but then coming back in to start the fight, gets drilled.
bit of overconfidence fielder, the 2-tap. Okay.
He's saying, looked at his monitor like, excuse me? Like, how did he do that? Oh, back to the Reaper.
Okay, Lip does have this fob. 5th member in the pocket for Ash. Knows where Fielder is, ready for that counter peek. The cleanse to swing, and I mean, Lip is a threat right now in the flank. Bob pooped away for the moment. Bob's trading out here in the alleyway. But of course, it's the grab in the main that matters for everything. Proper finds Chorong on the Reaper. Hanbin needs to stay alive. Supports do just that, providing. Max now dropping low, burning down. The follow-up could be there soon. Falcons with the Reaper continuing to push forward. They've got Zarya isolated in the flank. Proper cleans up. There it takes Su's life. And it's only a matter of delay here for Heesing on the main. No chance to get back into this fight. And Falcons swarm forward. They're going to cap second point. Set themselves up for a heavy push into King's Row last.
Yeah, and the Reaper has been something we haven't seen from many teams throughout this, but has been really impactful in this series. So Proper goes to the Reaper here. Also, with Heeseng going over to the Mage, Reaper actually plays pretty well into the main, right? When the freeze starts to come in, you can use the Wraith Form to go away. One of the only DPS that can kind of stand toe-to-toe with the Mei and battle it out.
Fielder, ice in his veins on the flank. Heesang has learned his lesson, playing this one more carefully. Proper on the high ground, though, threatening anyone who dares step forward. Now a TP to the flank. Gets on top of Lip, pushes him back. Just the threat of his presence is enough. Mayball isolates Hanbin. He gets bursted down instantly. The rush is not enough. Great hold so far from CR, but can they weather the storm? Seems to be enough for now. And so many teams have struggled with the Mei in exactly this spot. King's Row last. A wise choice for Heesing, but can Falcons find the answer here when it matters most?
Yeah, nice pick off here from Lip at the end. Takes out Merit. just trying to hold on to this energy that Hanbin has. You also have Proper getting closer to that Death Blossom. Max has to get back to the rest of his team. Taking a lot of damage right on this corner. You did have Chio ending up using the Tidal Blast in that last fight. Gave it over to Proper, didn't find anything.
Lip waiting for the oncoming assault, knows it's coming. Hold strong for now. Max up to the high ground, an unconventional position. One that makes quite a bit of space here. As Proper starts to work his way through the flank. Things are slowing down, but a Death Blossom from the high ground could be terrifying. The bubble is in. He's diving deep. Will he commit onto Max? So risky here, but he goes for it, the gamble. He lives for now just long enough, but the grab denies. Max stands strong in the corner, holds it down. Bob cleans house. And it's all Crazy Raccoon in the feed.
Not the worst thing, though, for Falcons. That is a grab and Bob used.
Look at CR, though. They're so aggressive. They know the ult bank is starting to tilt against them. They plan to retake that advantage by force. Falcons have to be so careful on the walk-up. They may not know the locations of these defenders. Merit taking the wide swing. It does enough to bully back Crazy Raccoon, but they exact a price on the clock.
Oh, and they get the Reaper into position here, though. Some nice bubbles there from Hanbin onto Proper. A lot of damage. It's going to be the Tidal Blast used here onto Max, just trying to keep him up. Tidal Blast used in response there onto Proper.
Zarya under assault. Max does get the kill, but Merit finds two. Still a fight to be had. Fielder once again takes down Heesang. And Falcons in the low numbers may have broken this crucial hold for Crazy Raccoon. They're going to have another chance at the spawn door. But up against the rush, the grab, so difficult here. Lip needs to kill someone. 4CR has to make the difference. It's Kyoro!
What? On the Wu Yang with the poke. Takes out Merit. That is huge, because Merit had some of that high ground control.
Oh, Max
you are
up to the
desperate for.
Max sending them back, wants to reset this position. Proper giving everything, trying to hold on. Max has way too many bubbles for that. Laughs in his face, sends the Reaper backing, and once again, they reassume this corner. Ready to put Falcons in the trap, and this may be the last progress Falcons see on the court, considering how this position has felt in previous matches.
Falcons looking for some more progress here, as they will move to the defensive side after this. Proper over to the Venture here, just to try and get back in a touch.
Forward grab, it's enough to slow things down. Crazy Raccoon, though, on the verge of closing out this defense, and it seems to be the case. Fielder with the rush, but it's just not enough. Tidal Blast over the top. A later commitment, though, from the Falcons. Merit finds Heesang.
Chio putting down so much damage right now.
It's starting to slip away. Hanbin is low, but he's not going down. Merit, he's in the spawn. He's retaken the defender position. So awkward now for Crazy Raccoon. How do they come out into this? Lip with the Bob, could be part of that success. Bob is touching cart, stalling overtime for now, but once again, Merit, look at him. Irremovable from this position, and a Bob to control the payload. Surely CR can't get this done. Bayold comes out, freezing. The Zarya cart, she's frozen, no bubbles left. Max, hold on, the C9 is there! And Falcons cannot touch.
Proper can't make it back. Almost some heroics there from Merit. He gets a little bit of an off angle there. Rotates all the way around, takes that high ground, pushes all the way down towards that spawn door on that right-hand side. Gets there with Fielder, using the TP, getting there in that position. Almost enough to get them over the line. That Blizzard, though, at the end, just pushes them off of the point. And Crazy Raccoon, they hold on D.
I mean, Merit taking that position, so fearless. And it almost yields them the point, but Crazy Raccoon, man, they are down, but they are never out. And now they've set a win condition. If Falcons cannot hold this third point, their tournament life will be over. They have to stop this Crazy Raccoon. And we've seen so many teams be able to make it through that Kings Row offense. It really does come down to that one corner on third point.
Yeah.
Feels to me that that's more than likely where this series will be decided.
I mean, Falcons, I mean, both these teams. A tremendous series, as usual. Chio on the Buyong. I'm looking at that on the defense, Jake. He was putting down crazy damage at the end there, almost enough with him, Fielder, and Merit to get it done on offense. But now, on the defensive side of things, as the gates open, They'll be proper on the Mei here, so they want to run that Mei probably for most of the map.
Mei from the start, and he's saying, gonna respond with the Echo, utilizing some of that untaken space in the sky. Pressure on Merit to be able to stifle both his enemy hitscan and he's saying at the same time. A challenge for anyone. Maybe Merit can rise to the occasion. Hanbin forward on this high ground, but Max ignores him, just steps up to the point. What can Proper do on the other side? Trying to poke back, trying to put this pressure down, but it's difficult.
I mean, Max takes a lot of damage.
Choron deep behind. Oh, this could be a problem. Wu Ying in the back. He's on top of Chio. The wave force. Counter wave is good, but Chio is down. Lip finds the angle to get the cleanup. And a Wu Ying in the spawn.
That is
it's not what Falcons expected.
Not the person you expect on the flank.
Oh, Hanbin though. Hold on. Hanbin and Merit. They kill the front line. Proper. Push forward. And Hanbin winning that fight changes everything. The kills are for naught. Late deaths here. Oh, this one is so important. Ah, Merit gets the kill. 4 HP. The bubble as well. It keeps him alive. And Falcons hold strong. It looks so good from Choron. What an innovative look to take that back flank. But Team Falcons sense weakness in the front line.
So Merit finds 2 there towards the end. A lot like the last time. Max steps up, takes this position. Lip takes some serious damage. Lucky he's got the Wu Ying healing from Choron here. Dynamite up to the top, puts down some damage. But you see how patient Falcons is playing.
100 energy on this defensive Zarya. Bubble into the high ground. He's saying tries to take this position. Proper has no ice block. Shu punishes him. The Falcons could be starting to crumble now. Both supports are low. Shu with another. Says, fine, I'll do it myself. Now on the cap. Max daring Hanbin forward, daring him to challenge for this point. It's not to be. Falcons looking to reset, looking to just set up on second point. But Fielder has no way out. There's no one to TP to. Everyone has retreated already.
Yeah, so you basically get one fight win on defense there for Falcons, and then you end up just giving it up. Here though, Jake, I think this is where the Mei can be more effective. Not exactly great in the first point, but as we go towards the streets here, these narrow streets, it's very difficult to kind of get around these Mei walls. Let's see how Crazy Raccoon deals with that.
It's definitely a test for this team. 10 ultimates on the board for this fight. A crucial one. So many variables to consider. At some point, you just have to find your play and go for it.
This next fight's gonna be crazy.
Play on field, grab initiation here. Forces a responsive copy from Heesang, but Proper with the mail overlaid. It's not enough to defend them. They can't stay alive even with that tidal blast. And Falcons happy to win this one, but it's very expensive. 4 major ults deployed. Oh, the Crazy Raccoon only used 2.
I mean, Rush, Grab, Blizzard, Bob. It feels like, though, for Falcons, just winning that fight, even if you overinvest, getting this control of this position and choke with the Mei is most important. And it'll have Heesang actually going over to play a Mei of his own.
Fielder getting cheeky on this off angle. No one really here to punish him. His team in the front line may struggle, but Chio does have that ultimate if he needs it. Proper gets incredibly low. There's just not enough resources to keep this front line stable. The rush could be backbreaking. Tidal blast, not enough to keep Hanbin alive. Just bursted down through it by the overwhelming DPS from Lip. But this time, it's the Raccoon who overextend, I think. Overexert their ultimates. And it's going to be a complete dry fight for the fate of second point.
And a fight win here for Falcons gives them a great odds of at least getting it into OT here before Crazy Raccoon can get second point. We'll see now. Obviously, no speed with the Lucio gone. Nobody playing Juno, so going to take a little bit longer to get back.
First ult in this fight, likely to be the Bob from Merit. Choron not far behind as well on this Wu Ying. See if Hanbin can regain the energy advantage. His Lip just pours it on with the damage. Hanbin is so low, but the Maywall from Proper buys a moment of respite. It's not enough. Lip with the instant peak 2-tap. Hanbin is down, and Crazy Raccoon. It could be destiny. The Falcons starting to struggle. Second point is going against them. It's going to be the one last chance, one last point, and 3 minutes on the clock. You must be flawless from here on out. And Lip doesn't even want to give them the chance to reset, does not want to let them walk out onto this map.
No, Lip trying to get angles here. Knows one pick coming out of the spawn would be massive. Merit down to 1 HP. Maywall here used by Proper, just trying to block this line of sight. Allow Falcons to move up towards the cart.
So incredibly risky here. He's staying down. He managed to get that Blizzard off. Is it enough? Proper's in the flank. He's isolated. The Bob comes out from Merit. Slows things down. Spawn advantage for Falcons here. They're happy to take these longer, slow fights. Play towards their own doors. Hanbin contesting the high ground, but with the help of Shu, Max holding strong, refusing to yield this position.
Rally available here for Fielder, if need be. Hanbin just battling here for this high ground. They try and use that Maywall, block the player from the opposite side of the high ground, the line of sight there. They're really relying a lot on Proper here. You can test this payload at the moment.
Proper holds his nerve, puts the Blizzard down. Heesang can't get away. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. Merit takes that kill. Now the Bob comes out from Lip, trying to equalize this advantage, but Chio's kill on the Shu. Maybe just enough. Hanbin finds a third and a fourth. And now it's just Max who actually could be in trouble here. Hanbin may not be able to find this connection with the Sports respawning, but happy to send Crazy Raccoon packing with only a minimal investment of ult.
Yes, you just end up using the Blizzard there to just kind of capture Heesang, but Lip does end up using the Bob there. So see if that turns out to be anything. Max coming back in here though. Grab trying to build up some energy, seeing if they can catch one player out, which they do.
Heesang, huge kill. Without the Mei, the player advantage goes against you. Falcons, will you commit? Will you yield this spot? Trying to play so is Hanbin. He's so low, the burst is gone! Clean headshot! And this may be all over. Proper onto the venture. A desperation recontest, the last hope for Team Falcons, and Crazy Raccoons deny it with the Maywall. Is it late enough? Proper moves away! No! Crazy Raccoon snatched this victory. And in doing so, eliminate the Falcons from contention in Stockholm.
And it is a rough way to go out if you are Team Falcons. Jake, they had Tidal Blast and Kitsune Rush at the end and never get a use of it. It's just as soon as that first kill comes down, they push on forward. Does Crazy Raccoon. They clean up the remaining members of Falcons. It's a grab there from Max that comes in. Enough to finish off a player. Both supports trying to back up. They can't make it out with their lives. And that is it. Proper tries to make a play on the venture to get back. Just not enough. Gets knocked off course. And Crazy Raccoon, they keep themselves alive. They at least make it to Championship Sunday.
See if they can make it any further than that. But of course, first it was the Falcons taking that trophy in the midseason championship. They will be denied the chance to repeat as we take a look at some of the stats from this incredible final map in Kings Row.
I mean,
just both teams throwing haymakers. This is everyone having strong games. There's just no one falling apart, no one slipping up. I think this is just two titans clashing.
I mean, it's just
flying.
It's just an insane game of Overwatch. I mean, shoot, 18K healing. I mean, that is one to look out for. And I think, you know, if you're Falcons, right, love to know kind of that swap that happened on New Queen Street, right? Merit all of a sudden playing the sim Proper over on the Soj. Never know. Never know what happened there, but Crazy Raccoon, I mean, they have a night to sleep on their loss to Alcatia and come back tomorrow. They got to win against two of those EMEA teams if they want to host that trophy.
I mean, it's interesting because I feel like if you could do it once, maybe you could do it twice. I think there is still that shred of hope for Crazy Raccoon. They find themselves uncomfortably as underdogs going into Championship Sunday, but at least they are still alive. And to hear more about what their thoughts are, how they're feeling at this moment in the tournament, we've got Danny down on the stage with an interview.
Jake, man, thank you very much. Danny Lim here, joined by Shu after a crazy victory. Everybody give it up for Shu. Shu, you're looking like you're having a blast. You look very happy right now. I mean, you were amazing on that Kiriko. I think you were like the third DPS. I want to hear from you. How did it feel to get this win? 자, 일단 오늘 승리 축하드리면서 오늘 킬로서 너무 좋은 모습도 보여주고 어떻게 보면 좀 세 번째 딜러가 아니었나 랄 정도로 정말 너무 매섭고 멋있는 모습 너무 보기 좋았습니다. 소감 어떠신가요?
일단 너무 행복하네요. 그냥 겁나게 맛있다. 그리고 소감은 상대가 너무 잘한 것도 있지만 저희가 실수한 부분이 많기도 했고, 그다음에 뭐 사람들이 궁금할 거는 왕이길 A 키리코일 것 같은데 뭔가 하면서 이제 뭐 못 들을 것 같더라고요. 그래서 안 하면 지겠다 해가지고 미움받을 용기로 한번 돌아봤는데 좋은 결과가 나온 것 같습니다.
Definitely It feels great to get this win, of course, but I think one of the biggest things that I feel like all our fans wanted to know was a King's Row carry. We had all our doubts, but I feel like if I didn't pull this out, there was not a lot of way for us to penetrate the defense. So I took the gamble, and I think it worked out perfectly. And it did work out perfectly, right, guys? Fantastic. One more question. I mean, Crazy Raccoon, you guys are going into the lower bracket finals, and if you guys want to win it all, you have to win against 2 EMEA teams to become the world champions. Shu, are you worried at all that you have to face up against 2 EMEA teams that are currently looking very dangerous? 자, 두 번째 질문으로는 슈 선수가 보셨을 때 아무래도 이번에 또 우승을 위해서는 지금 좀 유럽 쪽 우리 또 트마와 알카시아를 두 팀 다 이겨야 되는데 그거에 대한 걱정이나 좀 이런 건 없나요? 아무래도 두 팀 다 너무나도 지금 좀 무서워 보이는 팀이라고 저는 생각을 하거든요.
처음에 알카디시아랑 경기할 때 사람들 보셨다시피 저희가 이긴 경기였거든요. 근데 절대 다음번엔 지진 않을 거고 증명하겠습니다. 저희 팀 꼭 응원 열심히 해주세요.
I feel like, as you guys all saw, our match against Alcacia, it should have been our win, and I am confident that we could get the win. So please keep on supporting us. We will prove all this talk by showing it on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Shu one more time. Thank you so much. Zoe, take it away.